Alrighty, everybody. It looks like we're not going to be having another co-host today. We are going to be having a guest, Cheryl Crow, Arthritis Life Hacks. She's going to be coming in the second half, and hopefully when I see her come in, that I'll be able to bring her up as a co-host. As of right now, it'll just be me. But welcome to our December community chat. Our topic today is going to be how to survive the holidays with an AI arthritis disease. And it was supposed to be Tiffany, our CEO, and me, Layla, that was going to be hosting this chat. This is our first time being on Facebook Live. So it is going to be a little trial and error for us to be able to see how this is going to work and how everything is going to be put together. And yeah, we're going to start out with just introducing myself. Like I said, my name is Layla. I'm the Health Education and Engagement Manager here at AiArthritis. And we had our CEO, Tiffany Westwood Robertson, that was going to also co-host with me. If Tiffany can say hi in the chat again. And basically, she's going to be able to send the chat some information. I will do my best to explain what we were going to explain also, but just so that we know what these community chats are for. Basically, what we started this community chat to do is so that people are wondering what AI arthritis does. We can basically each month let you know what we're working on or different past projects that we've done. We get a lot of questions like, what exactly do you do? And the way that we like to remember it is the acronym EAR. Education, advocacy, and research are our three main pillars that we focus on. And basically the community chats is for the public and the community to get to know us and to get to know what we're doing. And we also wanted to start this to be able to see if we could get organic donations from individual donors. And as you can see, there is an option to donate. So if you are willing and ready to donate through Facebook, it's very easy. And there is a button there to donate to our foundation. And these chats are not intended just for patients that are in our community. It's intended for everyone who is willing and wanting to get to know about how we live with our diseases every day. It can be caregivers, family members, significant others, friends of people who have our diseases that want to get to know a little bit more about the day-to-day and a lot about the hot topics that are happening in the community. And that's basically what our community chats are for. And next, we wanted to start out by talking a little bit more about AI arthritis. I did let you know one of the basic pillars that we do focus on, which is education, advocacy, and research. And we also are very innovative and try to break the mold and do things that have not been done before. So we are very big in connecting the dots and basically trying to find a solution or answer or process to questions that those in our community have. So everything that we do is patient inspired and are usually brought by questions or concerns that patients have. So that's our big focus, is we listen to the patients because we are the patient voice. We don't represent the patient voice, since most of our staff members do live with an AI arthritis disease. That also leads me into introducing the rest of our staff. Lindsay just said hi, Lindsay Viscara. She is our public policy and advocacy manager, and she will also be pretty active in the chat today. And we also have our operations manager, Katie Simons, in the chat also, sending out links from our page to be able to let you be interactive with the things that I'm talking about. And I'm going to go ahead and say hi to some people that are in the chat. Hi, Deb. Hi, Dan. And hi, Tracy. Really appreciate you all being here. Like I said, this is our first time being on Facebook Live, so maybe we'll get some people who don't really know much about our organization. So there will be some links in the chat for you to go and check out to see more about us on our website also. And for those of you who may be wondering what our different diseases that we represent are, I'm going to read them off so that you understand the different diseases that we focus on. And Yeah. Alrighty. So the first tier of the diseases that we have are rheumatoid arthritis, psoriatic arthritis, and juvenile psoriatic arthritis, systemic lupus erythematosus, or juvenile SLE. Also, we focus on Sjogren's syndrome, juvenile Sjogren's syndrome, axial spondyloarthritis, and that also includes ankylosing spondylitis, non-radiographic axial spondyloarthritis, and juvenile spondyloarthritis, juvenile idiopathic arthritis, and undifferentiated disease. So those are the main core diseases that we focus on, but there are also additional diseases that we are associated with. The other diseases can be comorbidities or also have the same symptoms of autoimmune slash autoinflammatory plus arthritis. And the next set of diseases is Crohn's disease, sarcoidosis, relapsing polychondritis, systemic scleritis, Behçet's disease, palindromic rheumatism, and anthysetase syndrome, mixed connective tissue disease. And so all of these can be found on our disease page. And we are also currently in the works of updating our disease page to be a little bit more specific and a little bit more detailed. So that's something that we can look forward to in the coming months. In January and February, we should have our disease pages updated and have a lot more information on them. I'm really excited to be premiering those. And we can most likely let you know at our next community chat in January when those pages are up. Alrighty, and as you guys can see that we've been promoting, our topic today is how to survive the holidays with an AI arthritis disease. And we do have some ideas that we want to share, but we also want to be able to have all of you contribute to the ideas that we can all share together as a community and collaborate on putting together a list of hacks, tips, tricks, and ideas of how to survive joint pain, fatigue, muscle pain, brain fog, all of these things through the holidays. As we all know, the holidays are a time where there's a lot going on. Not only do we have our normal day-to-day routine of work, school, taking care of our families like we usually do, but there's an added stress or added tasks of getting any gifts together that we might be getting, putting together any family get-togethers, friend get-togethers, cooking, cleaning, all of those things. And all of those tasks can really compound. And that's what we want to talk about today. We want to talk about what is the best way, or what are some tips and tricks that can help you to get through these different obstacles that we might have during this time of year. And at this time, I would like anybody who has any ideas to throw them out there. And I will also read some of the ideas that I got on Instagram. The past 2 days, I put up an Instagram story that had a question, and it said, "Tell me how you survive the holidays." And I posted it on my personal Instagram, and I posted it on our organization Instagram to get some answers. And so I can go ahead and read some of those so that we can have them presented. And so one of them is Everyday Living Lupus, and she said lots of naps. And I think that is a really good idea. I even heard from a YouTube video that someone actually scheduled their naps throughout the holidays. I'm going to drink some water because I'm talking a lot and my mouth is dry, just so you know. And I also am working on a secondary diagnosis of Sjogren's syndrome, so that's why my mouth gets a little bit dry too. So, water break. Anybody in the chat, if you haven't drank any water today or haven't drank any water in a few hours, drink some water with me. And like I said, Everyday Living Lupus, she said lots of naps. I'm not the type of person that can really take a nap just like that. I actually have to be, either pretty tired or not have had caffeine that day to take a nap, it would be a little bit hard for me to schedule naps. But if that's something that you can do, and you can set aside 30 minutes to go ahead and take a nap, I think that would be a really good idea during the holidays, especially when you are interacting with so many people. Even if it's not like a full nap that you can actually go into deep sleep, I think that it would be great to just set aside some alone time for yourself to calmly breathe, relax, and take some time for yourself. Alrighty, I have another one here that's from B69 Cap, and she said, ask for help. And that is a great tip too. I think easier said than done for a lot of people, or I don't want to speak for anybody, but for me is very hard sometimes. I like to be able to do things on my own, and I've always been very before and after my diagnosis. And so asking for help is something that I'm still really working on. But if you have maybe one or two people that you can ask for help and they won't give you a hard time about it, they understand your situation, I would always see if you can ask them for help. I think that one of the biggest things is I have a lot of pride, and I think that's something that a lot of people do. You don't want to ask for help, but especially during these times, one, I think people will be more willing to give help because they know how stressful this time is, and you'd be able to ask them and they would be probably a little bit less resistance because of the time of year. But I think it's a really good thing to make sure that you have someone that you think you can ask for help. And another person, Carrie Bransom, said saying no and delegating, which goes hand in hand with also asking for help. And I think delegating beforehand is maybe what she's talking about more, where instead of like in the moment saying, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? Planning and making sure people know what their roles are before the actual event happens would cause a lot less stress on everybody at that time. And of course, again, easier said than done. But especially if you have kids and friends and family members that are going to be at these parties, don't feel that you need to do everything all at once. You can definitely delegate and definitely be able to ask them, can you go ahead and go get the utensils and the paper towels and the paper plates from the store before you come in? Can you make sure that you get the drinks and ice and cups before you come in? Or can you make sure that there is one of the kids, they're going to be helping people bring things up when they get to the house? Have assignments and have as many tasks delegated as possible so that you still feel like you're able to be a part of everything, but you don't have to individually do everything on your own. So those were 3 responses that I got. I did get another one too from Grow Your Zone saying letting obligations go and only doing what you can. And I think that goes hand in hand with a lot of what I just spoke about. And I think one of the biggest things is like not feeling guilty for when you can't do something. Being honest with yourself and being honest with those around you can be very hard. And I am so guilty of this, of gaslighting myself and wondering, are you just being lazy or can you really not do this right now? And I think a lot of people who have similar diseases will feel that way sometimes. I don't know if I mentioned actually in the beginning, I mentioned myself that I'm Layla, the health education and engagement manager here at AiArthritis, but I also am a person living with lupus nephritis. And that's what I'm saying when I say people who have similar diseases as me. So I don't know if I introduced that in the beginning, but just as a little tidbit to remind. And so I'm going to check in the chat right now if there was anybody else giving any tips. Alrighty. So Tiffany said, I have these pink boot slippers I was going to share in here via photo, but no photos can be added. But they are magic. I wear them when cooking, even when company is over or bringing them to friend and family houses. As a spondy, my feet have enthesitis in the tendons and become extremely painful without a lot of cushion. It's a really good tip. I also have fuzzy Crocs that I wear all around the house and at any other family events that I also wear too. Alrighty, let's see. Lindsay said, I used to be able to wrap on the floor, but now I bring a folding table inside and wrap standing up. It's easier on my back and knees. I think that's a really big one, is that you never realize how hard it is to get up from the floor unless you're already there. So that's one of the biggest things, is if you can do something standing up rather than sitting on the floor. I think that just to prevent any possible injury or any excessive pain for no reason, that's a really good idea to wrap on the table instead of on the floor. Deb said, I pivot when needed and break into manageable pieces. I agree. I like to always have a plan going in, but always know that maybe sometimes that plan isn't going to work. And maybe sometimes you're going to have to change things, like we did on this live today. Tiffany was originally supposed to be on camera with me, but we couldn't really figure out how to troubleshoot to get her on the camera. And so sometimes you need to pivot and break things into manageable pieces and do all those things. Alrighty. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Jody. And let's see. Dan said, what can friends or family do to support those with diseases? So I would say, does anybody else have any answers to that? What can family members do to support those with diseases? I would say that one of the biggest things would be to ask and go out of your way to ask that person who does have these diseases if they need help. Even if they look like everything is fine, I would offer to maybe bring in those groceries for them. Maybe you don't have to get up right now and stir the mac and cheese. I can do that while you rest for a little bit longer. That's something that my fiance does. He lets me go start and get all the ingredients in and put all of the flavors in, and while we're waiting for something to finish cooking, he will be the one like, oh no, don't get up, I can mix it, I can take it out of the pot, I can do all of those things. So just helping me finish the task. And I think that's something that family members and friends can really do to help. Okay, and Tiffany's answer said, I think it's about listening. If my limitations have been pushed, I really have to sit down here, and I know I'm not being lazy, Layla said. Some family and friends don't understand this. Also, just simply offering an extra hand more than normal. And if I say, oh, I'm fine, maybe insisting to do something for me because I will pay for overdoing it after the fact. I agree wholeheartedly with that. I'm very guilty of saying I'm fine. And it's in more of out of pride again, where it's, no, I'm fine. Like I can do this by myself. But knowing deep inside that I actually do want someone to help me because I know I'm going to pay for it later, like Tiffany said. Tracy said memory foam slippers are great. I totally agree. Target has some really good memory foam slippers. JCPenney, TJ Maxx, a lot of them have them on sale during this time, or they're a little bit cheaper because of the holidays. So I would totally look into some of those. Alrighty. Let's see. Lindsay said, I agree with Tiffany. Just knowing that if I say I can't, it's not because I don't want to, it's because I actually can't. And I think that's pretty like universal, or can be applied to a lot of people, especially like our staff. I feel like all of us do our best to do as much as we can, and we do feel bad when we can't do all the things that we want to. But we also are learning our limits, are learning our boundaries and things like that. And being able to have understanding friends and family, not everybody has that. But knowing yourself that you are doing the best that you can is the best thing that you can do. And making sure to be kind to yourself. Being kind to yourself is one of the best things that you can do. I know that it can be difficult sometimes when you want to do more than your body can handle. And sometimes it's just not the way that it goes. And it is what it is. And you have to, like I said, be forgiving of yourself and be kind to yourself and do your best to explain to your friends and family who may not understand. All right, we have more comments coming in. Let's see. I keep seeing listen, and that also has to mean as patients, we have to be okay to be honest and realistic. Our diseases are invisible. Our loved ones aren't mind readers. If we say I'm okay, we need to be better at explaining I may feel okay now, but if I push it, then I'm not going to be okay. So thank you. Yes, you can help. Yeah, I think that it's not our family and friends' responsibility to read our mind and to know when we need help. And I think that we do have to have that responsibility of explaining to them how we feel and how this can affect us in the future and what we're trying to prevent, what we're trying to do when we do things differently or make decisions differently than people usually would. Lindsay said, it is also important for friends and family to know that many of us have dietary restrictions or allergies because of our diseases and be sensitive to that. Yes, that is one of the biggest things during holiday season. People who have dietary restrictions a lot of the time may not be considered during the family parties, and they might bring their own food or may have their own dish that they have there. And I come from a Filipino family, an Asian family, and they're always, you have to you keep eating, or you're being disrespectful to the person who's holding the party, and things like that. And I think that's super important, like you said, to be very conscious of that. If it is dietary restrictions or allergies, or even just somebody's preference of what they want to eat or don't want to eat, it causes a lot of mental health issues, confidence issues for people who may not want to be forced to eat or can't eat that food. And Deb said, trying to be okay with changes and canceling plans because you have to. That's something that I always feel so bad about, is I feel like I'm sometimes known as the flaky friend, where I commit to something and then the day before I'm not feeling well, so I have to cancel. And you like you said, Deb, you have to be okay with it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, if Tiffany said, I know I don't cancel plans often, but if I would have to miss a family event, I hope people would understand. And that's definitely like something that I'm fearful of too. And Katie said, be kind to your body and listen to it. Try to be understanding with your body if it cannot keep up with your plans. And that's so true with our diseases. You never know what will trigger a flare up, or what will not make you feel well, or you never know when you're not going to feel well. So it's always important to keep up with, or to listen to your body if it cannot keep up with your plans. Some family members don't want to hear our excuses. They've heard it before. Oh man, that is a hard situation to deal with if your family is not understanding of how you're feeling and they've heard your excuses before. Unfortunately, for if those family members don't understand, then they're not your support system. You have to know that, okay, like, you're my family, but I'm going to take what you say with a grain of salt, because you clearly don't fully understand what I'm going through and you don't want to understand. And so at that point, you don't deserve to have an opinion in my life that really is in my heart or that I take seriously, because I'm not going to take your opinion seriously if you're not taking my situation seriously. Tiffany said, I struggle with the balance of I'm okay to I'm not okay, I need help, because the spectrum isn't black and white. And by the time I need help, it's often way too late. That is very true, very true. And Lindsay said, on the flip, or Sydney said, me too. And Lindsay said, on the flip side, please don't treat me like a toddler. Let me decide what I can and can't do instead of assuming that I can't do anything. And that is very true. Sometimes I do get frustrated when my fiance tries to carry everything for me or tries to make sure that I don't have to carry things. And I appreciate that at the same time. But sometimes I'm like, no, I got it. You don't have to carry 17 bags in at once. Like I can carry 3 or 4. Alrighty. Thank you so much for joining us, Tracy. I really appreciate all of your feedback. You had some great comments here. And Sydney said, thanks for having these discussions. These are lonely diseases. And they really are. Like, I can't even explain to you. I was in college when I first was in the midst of getting my diagnosis, and I had to miss so many classes. I had to stay in my dorm and not go out with my friends because I was so tired all the time that I did feel really lonely, and I felt like really nobody understood what I was going through. And so I think definitely having active discussions and again, educating and learning as much as you can about your diseases and diseases that are related just really brings the community together. And that's the whole point of our community chats. And at this point, I wanted to see if anybody wants to say their tip or speak about anything on camera. Let me know in the chat and I can definitely bring you up on the camera. I will continue reading the comments and reading them out loud right now. But if anybody wants to say anything on camera, we have about 5 to 10 minutes of anybody who can jump on and say how they feel about the topic or give any tips and tricks that like more than what we've been saying here too. Okay, let's see. What a great point, Layla. Tiffany said, sometimes your inner circle/family isn't your true support system. That may be hard for families to hear, but too often it's friends who are the true support system. In saying that, I'm lucky because my family is supportive. Hence her dad in the chat. Yes, some people are not as fortunate to have really understanding family, and it took my family a really long time to be as understanding as they are, but once they get there, it feels really great. Or you can have your chosen family, and Tiffany said your friends. We must support Karen said, good points. We must support each other as people do not understand. Lisa said, I'm like that too. I don't know. I've done too much. I'll go somewhere and either can't participate or I'm so whipped I can't stay as long as I want. Absolutely. Yes. Katie said, do not be afraid to take pain medication for prevention if you'll be very active on a specific day. Tiffany let us know, like these past 2-3 weeks, her and her husband have been putting all the decorations up in her house because her house is on Candy Cane Lane. And so that's one of the things that I would recommend is if you're going to be very active, putting things up and decorating and putting up the tree and cooking and bending over a lot. Sometimes it is okay to take Advil, naproxen, Aleve, Tylenol, whatever you prefer as a prevention before the pain comes on and to help subside the pain and to help prevent the pain from becoming as bad as it could be. So I think that's a really good tip too. Erin was asking, where is Candy Cane Lane? So actually there's a lot of Candy Cane Lanes in a lot of different cities throughout the country. Candy Cane Lane is really just a whole street or whole neighborhood of houses that decide to go crazy on their Christmas decorations. And so I live in Fullerton, California, and I know that there's Candy Cane Lane over here in Brea. There's a Candy Cane Lane in the Torrance, Ranchos Palos Verdes area. And there's also on the Naples Canal, there is in Long Beach and in the Venice area, there's a lot of different Candy Cane Lanes there too. All right. Hi, Cheryl. I'll have you come in just a few minutes. I'm going to send in Cheryl's links right now so that we can have them in the chat, and wanted to make sure that we have them so that Cheryl, also known as Arthritis Life Cheryl, is super big on life hacks and She has a lot of amazing things that she helps with people who have arthritis and other related diseases. I'm going to bring on Cheryl in just a few moments to share a little bit more about her different life hacks that she recommends. Alrighty. Okay, for my team, I just put Cheryl's link in our group chat. So if someone can please put it in the chat, that would be great. Let's see. I'm going to read a few more chats and then we will invite Cheryl in. Let's see. Deb said, I pay for it a lot, but choose to be present. Knowing full I will be out of commission. Communication with my husband, son, family is huge. And that's true too. If you want to be full-fledged and fully participated and you know for a fact that you're going to pay for it later, then schedule that in. Make sure that you don't have so many things to do on the following days after those events. That's how I do it right now too. I'm 27 years old, so I still have a lot of active things that I like to do and go out with my friends and sometimes party and things like that. What I do is make sure that I give myself enough time to recuperate afterwards and try not to schedule too many things on the day after. So that's something that could, that you could try to arrange also if you do want to be able to fully participate and go full out. Alrighty. Let's see. Hi, Kelly. She said, yay, I'm getting my infusion so I could pop in. So Kelly is actually one of our co-founders, and she was the person from last month's community chat that suggested we do this on Instagram or Facebook Live. And I thought that was an amazing idea. And so we ran with it. So thank you so much, Kelly and Effie, for suggesting that. And hopefully we're going to be getting a little bit more exposure. We have 13 viewers right now, which is great. And super excited to be able to continue these on here and hopefully have a co-host next time. We'll get all of the different things ironed out so that these can go a little bit more smooth in the future. Already, what seems like a lot of people are from California also. Cheryl is calling in from Seattle, Washington. Oh, Cheryl used to live in the Bay Area too. So did I. I'm originally from the Bay Area. Alrighty. All right. Everybody is mentioning where they're from. And alrighty, I will go ahead and pull up Cheryl now so that she can go ahead and take some time to explain to you some of her holiday hacks. So let's see if I can add her in. Okay, Cheryl, I just sent in the request for you to join. So hopefully that is working. Okay, I requested to give you a request to add you in. But if you let me know if you're not getting any notification, because this is what also was happening with Tiffany. Let me see if I can jump on my computer real quick and see if that makes a difference to add you in, or maybe on my phone. Let me see. That's embarrassing that I can hear myself. Okay, let me see. Thank you everybody for tuning in and for dealing with our technical difficulties today. I'm so sorry. It's our first time doing this on Facebook Live for those of you who weren't here before. So I'm trying to log in on my computer to see if it's easier to add in Cheryl this way. Let's see. Yeah, that's really odd that on my screen it says I'm trying to add you in, and I guess it's not giving a notification. It said before that you have to make sure that you're on the most updated form of Facebook, but I'm not too sure. I'm doing this from my iPad right now, and it's saying that I'm adding you. It's not sending any notification, which is so weird. I tried this out personally with my fiance the other day, and it worked to get him in on the live. So I'm unsure why it's not working right now. Okay, I'm going to try to send the request one more time. And if it doesn't work, then maybe I can try and see if we can pull up some of Cheryl's TikToks, and I can see if I can just show it on my iPad. So that could work also. It usually shows up in the chat. Like it'll show the International Foundation of Autoimmune is asking you to join their live, is what it usually says in the chat or in the live. See if I go in as myself. Okay, it looks like it's not going to work, unfortunately. What I will try to do is look up. Okay, so let's see one of the ones that Cheryl had suggested. Okay, it says no shame in the hot glue gun game. Anyone else tried this arthritis friendly hack for gingerbread houses, which I think is an amazing hack, especially for us AiArthritis team. We're going to be doing we're going to be doing a gingerbread competition next week, so I think that will be maybe a hack that we use. Of course, the icing is great for decorating, but to actually hold it together, it actually really sucks to hold it together. You have to push it for so long and wait for it to dry. So that is an amazing way to make sure that it stays together. And to be completely honest, who really eats the gingerbread? Yeah, see, Lindsay was thinking the exact same thing with me, like who actually eats the gingerbread. So I think that this is a really good hack, especially if you want well together, nice structured gingerbread. So let's see. And this was a really good one too. If you're going to have to be refilling early, you might need a little bit of extra time for your pharmacy to process that. So don't forget. Listen up, chronic illness friends. If you're traveling for the holidays, this is your reminder to refill those prescriptions. If you're going to have to be refilling early, you might need a little bit of extra time for your pharmacy to process that. So don't forget. Alrighty, those were some of the hacks hacks that Cheryl recommends for the holiday season. I have a few more that I wanted to share before we end here. So let me go back to my list. One of the things that I wanted to suggest is utilizing free, cheap gift wrapping stations at the mall. I know that the malls that I grew up near, there were ASB from different high schools or cheerleaders or things like that would donate their time to wrap gifts. And it may not be the most nice fancy wrapping, but if you do want to give someone a gift that's wrapped, I think those are a really good option to utilize instead of spending your own time doing that. That's something that you can also delegate to other people. Yes, and or always use bags too. I think that's a really good one instead of wrapping things on your own. Let's see. We were mentioning that last month's community chat that you and Kelly suggested that we do this on Instagram or Facebook Live. That's what that comment was for. Yeah, Deb said my hands never work, so squeezing that long. I totally agree. Alrighty, yes, 100% use hot glue gun. I put it in a box and shipped to New York. LOL, no wrapping. If people are really grateful for the gifts, then, wrapping shouldn't matter that much. Alrighty, I'm going to read another one. Using heating pads and hand warmers and compression gloves are real, like your best friends during the cold time. I know that not everybody here may be in the United States where it is winter now, but using heating pads and hand warmers is really important. And just to make sure that your joints are not too cold and not getting too much pain. Let's see if any of these have not been read yet. I think that's pretty much it for the different hacks that I had. Last chance for anybody to say anything else that they want to recommend for our community to get through the Deb said that she loved my hand warmer. Yeah, we were in Philadelphia a few weeks ago and I brought my hand warmer that I found on TikTok that is also it's a portable charger and also a hand warmer. I can also share the links to all of the different things that we are recommending. We're going to be doing an educational takeaway or just like a summary of what we talked about today, and we should be able to post it on Facebook and Instagram and also on our community chats page on our website. So that should be up before the beginning of next week, and we will post that so that everybody can remember all the great things that we spoke about today. And yes, I wanted to make sure that we gave a shout out to Cheryl because she is the life hack queen when it comes to arthritis. And for those of you who don't know, she is actually having a life hack extravaganza coming up next year in February. So if any of you are all interested in joining that, she is going to be having an amazing event where she's going to be talking about different things having to do with arthritis. Yes, you go, Cheryl. Put in your affiliate links. Get that money, get that coin, because all of your hacks are so worth it. So, yes, everybody, please purchase anything that you think that would be helpful for you for this holiday season through Cheryl's affiliate links. So she always gives great recommendations. Oh, I didn't show the other hack that you had. Maybe I don't see it on your TikTok page, but there was the one with the can opener. Maybe I can find it on Instagram real quick before we we get off of here. But another thing that Cheryl really recommends is using an automated or a powered can opener so that you don't have to fidget or do too much with your hands if your hands are in a lot of pain. So she does also recommend and give a recommendation for a specific can opener to use too, which will be very helpful when making all those pies and casseroles and all of those different things. Let's see. Okay, and Cheryl said, I've had moderate to severe RA for 19 years, been on methotrexate and biologics the whole time, which has slowed down disease activity significantly. And yes, definitely a popular topic. There's a lot of kitchen hacks. Please go check out Cheryl's page. She has amazing suggestions for the different day life things that we may need help with. And I think this is coming to the end now, but thank you all so much for participating and for joining in the conversation. I had so much fun today talking to all of you and being able to host this chat. I hope that all of you will consider joining our next chat next month. It's going to be on, let's see, it's going to be on Sunday, January 15th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And our topic for next month will be share your goals for the year, both personal and AI arthritis disease related. So in the new year, we want to start talking about all of our different goals and what we want, our goals for how we want to take care of ourselves when it has to do with our disease. And also any personal goals that we may have. We want to be there to cheer you on all your different goals, and putting it out there into the universe is always manifesting your great goals and things that you want to happen. So come back next month. We will be on Instagram Live, and we will also make a event like we did this month, but we are going to try our hand at Instagram Live next month. Please feel free to join us, and I will let you know when it comes up. We will start making the events and start posting again, and hopefully all of you guys can join us again. I'm going to go through the chat one more time and make sure that there's nothing else I need to highlight. For everyone, to reiterate, the point of these chats is to learn about things important to our community and to get to know our org and what we do more. This is an example. We listen to issues and then create solutions. Sometimes it's a full project based on issues that need big solutions. Others, like this, will be a quick takeaway. And here's a start of our other support tool based on other community reported needs to communicate with family and friends. And yes, this is a support discussion aid, and it'll help you to bring up the different hard topics with your family. Okay, everybody's just saying enjoy the holidays. Thanks, and nice to meet all of you. I really appreciate everyone being here today, and we hope to see you next month. And happy holidays and Merry Christmas. And everybody, make sure to, like I said, drink your water, take time for yourself, make sure to delegate, take naps, and have a lot of fun this holiday season. Again, if you're in a highly dense population area, try to wear your masks if that's what you prefer. And yeah, everybody stay safe and healthy throughout the month of December, and hopefully we will see you next month. Make sure to sleep and rest and recharge your batteries. And yeah, have a great day. Thank you all.